Until we get him up as PA, you guys.
Now at bat, number 16, Serena and Tony.
Speak again. Houston, Texas. Bring it up and get it up to the bank. Bring the master up.
Now we're hitting close to it.
Okay. All right, I'm coming back to you then.
Scary thought. We good? You know, Husky Field in Houston, Texas. I think we've got audio. All right. Well, welcome to Houston, Texas, Husky Field. Apologize for the slight delay in getting this game on. We'll get you caught up as that ball is popped out to the shortstop at Shelby Eccles. And that'll be the second out. We're here in the top of the second inning here at Husky Field. First game of a doubleheader between the HBU Huskies and the Panthers of Prairie View A&M. My name is Rodney Sidlik, and I'd like to welcome you to the Husky Sports Network. They have both games, non-conference doubleheader, final weekend of the non-conference season before the conference slate gets started here at Husky Field 1 week from Friday. So Prairie View batting here in the top of the second inning. So we'll make sure we got all of our audio right before we recap what's going on here. Catcher Serena Antone at the plate for Prairie View. 0-2. Lindy Swanson in the circle this afternoon, game one for the Huskies. She worked a scoreless first. She has two down here in the second as the next pitch is up high and the count goes to a ball with 2 strikes. Get you caught up. Well, you missed some first inning fireworks here at Husky Field as the Huskies leadoff hitter Shelby Eccles walked. Autumn Sidlik followed with a base knock, and then the big blow coming on a 3-run home run to straightaway center field by J.C. Roberts. So that pitch is up high. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So early runs on the board for Shelby Eccles here on a Chamber of Commerce type afternoon here in Houston. Can't get much better than this for early March. Weather perfect, but got a little wind blowing. As that ball is hit down to the shortstop Eccles, she'll go over to Brockway, and that'll retire the side. So no runs on, no hits, no errors, nobody left for Prairie View. We'll go to the bottom of the second here from Husky Field in Houston. Your score, HBU 3, Prairie View A&M nothing. Turn it off. Is that this? back here at Husky Field in Houston, Texas. So you shouldn't be able to hear anything now. We got it turned down. So this is just on a YouTube. So it wasn't on the Husky Sports Network. So I can tell my mother she doesn't have to worry about trying to find her credit card to watch this one. Back here to start the bottom of the second inning. Leadoff hitter for HBU. Left fielder, number 14, Cameron Parker. Number 8 hitter, 1 through 7 batted in the first. Parker comes in 167 on the season. Utility player senior out of Liberty, Texas. Left-handed hitter. So it'll be Parker, Riley Bullen, and then we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Shelby Eccles. Led off the action with a walk and scored in the first inning. Parker takes a strike. Notice a little high strike action early in this game. And protect against that high strike, getting that call as Parker cuts it that one, fouls it straight back, and now she's down on the count 0-2. Parker starting in left field today for HBU. Make some defensive changes. This pitch is outside after the injury to Avery Drake. It's kind of forced Coach Mary Ellen Hall to change her defense around. We'll talk about that more when the Huskies go on defense. It's a 1-2 pitch. It's fouled, and that ball will get down. And the count will remain 1-2. So 2 games today. This will be the final non-conference action for the Huskies before they begin Southland Conference play coming up this Friday, as they will play host to the Wildcats of Abilene Christian. A couple games, doubleheader Friday, Saturday. So I'll check the schedule and confirm that, as everybody knows. Schedules have been kind of crazy with everything going on in the world, as that pitch is in the dirt, and that'll square the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cameron Parker leading off. She'll be followed by Riley Bullen on deck, as that one's popped out in front of the catcher, and the catcher, Antone, will be able to field it, and that'll be the first out here in the second inning. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, center fielder Riley Bullen. Riley, also a senior, League City, Texas native, Clear Creek High School, San Jacinto College transfer. So Stan came back for another year, so playing her senior year, right-handed hitter. As that ball is hit down to shortstop, get over in the dirt as Fonseca over to Lunford to retire Bullen, and there's 2 down for the Huskies, and they'll turn the lineup over and go back to the top of the lineup with Shelby Eccles. Shelby walked and scored. She was on base when J.C. Parker hit the screaming line drive over the Huskies softball sign out in straightaway center, and if you can catch it on the broadcast, Old Glory is really flying to centers. That ball is hit to shortstop once again. Fonseca up and over to Lunsford, and Eccles is retired 6-3. So that'll do it for the Huskies. At the bottom of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll head to the top of the third. HBU leading it 3-0, and you're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, top of the third inning, Husky Field in Houston. HBU leading at 3-0 over the Panthers of Prairie View A&M. Top of the third, first baseman Kyra Lunford leading it off for the Panthers. Lindy Swanson, circle, she'll deal. Pitches down low a ball. Lunsford from nearby Glenda Dawson High School in Pearland, Texas. So I'm sure she's got some folks in the stands watching hers. The pitch is down low again, and that'll run the count out to 2-0. Heidi Jaquez, the veteran backstop, will pop up from behind home plate and go have a word with her young pitcher, Lindy Swanson. 2-0. Lunford as sophomore for these Prairie View A&M Panthers. Now there's that high strike, and she didn't get the call, which is strange. I've seen that one called a strike so far today, not this time, and that'll run the count out to 3-0. Prairie View comes into today's game 0-2, only played 2 games on the young season back into February, then a midweek doubleheader in Stephenville, Texas against the Tarleton Texans. That pitch is in there for a strike. The count moves to 3-1. So, and it's strange if you look at softball stats and you look at some of the teams, especially around the Southland Conference. There's teams that have played upwards of 15 games and some that have played 5 or 6 games. Like Prairie View, that ball is hit out to right, and that's going to get over Humphrey's head, and Lunford's going to slide in with a double. Going to have to pay attention out there in the outfield today. Those balls are getting on them quick, as we mentioned. Flags blowing from directly out to center field or from center to right and kind of change direction at times. So a swirling wind that's blowing towards right field. Wind got that when it took it right over the head of the right fielder, Sierra Humphreys. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter for Prairie View. That'll be the second baseman, number 13, Bree Grays. Left-handed hitter. Infield comes in looking for the slap or perhaps the bunt to move the runner over. She'll square the bunt and take the pitch right down down Main Street for a strike. So Lunford standing at second. She's there after a double to right field. Bree Grays, infielder, Wharton, Texas. And she went to Bowling High School, Wharton, Texas, the home of HBU catcher Heidi Jaquez. Grays, Wharton, listed as a senior infielder from Wharton, Texas, Bowling High School. She's looking to move the runner over and turn her lineup back over to the top. Riley Love waits on deck as that pitch is bunted foul. Sidlik comes up, gets it back to Swanson, and will do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Leadoff runner at second base for Prairie View A&M. Left-handed hitter Bree Grays standing in against Lindy Swanson. That pitch is fouled back. Swanson, a redshirt freshman, saw some time last year as a true freshman before we all got shut down. We'll tell those stories as the day goes on. But Swanson, very effective as a young true freshman last year. She hails from Katy, Texas, attended St. John the 22nd College Preparatory Academy. And she looks to be a workhorse for this HBU squad as Gray swings and misses. She'll fan, and that'll be out number 1. That'll turn the lineup over and bring up the center fielder, number 6, Riley Love. Love walked her first time at bat. Takes a pitch down the middle for a strike. Left-handed hitter. It's most softball leadoff hitters are. Infield, Ian Sidlik playing about 5-6 steps in at the bag at third. Brockway a couple steps at first, expecting the slap or the bunt in this situation, still looking to move that runner over, but hits it down to Sidlik. Sidlik looks the runner back. Runner will come around, and the tag is not in time as Lunsford slides in safe under the tag of Shelby Eccles, who was covering. Batter is retired 5-3 as Sidlik over to Brockway. 2 outs in the inning. Lunsford stands at third, and that'll bring up the 2-hitter Bianca Cruz, the right fielder. Cruz 0 for 1 on the day. Lindy Swanson will check the armband, and she'll deal. Pitches up high a ball, so Huskies leading it 3-0. Big blow. 3-run home run, J.C. Roberts in the first. Huskies looking to answer here in the third. Runner at third base and 2 outs. Swanson winds and deals, gets that one in. Squares the count at a ball and a strike to Bianca Cruz, a junior. Stood as a junior left-handed hitter, left-handed fielder, Rio Hondo, Texas native, and she'll take up high a ball. Jaquez back to Sidlik, throwing behind the runner. Lunsford down at third base. Left-handed hitter, 2-1 the count, 2 outs here, top of the third. Swanson looks towards the Husky bench, checks the armband, and she'll deal. And that pitch is fouled straight back. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the third inning. Huskies leading it 3-0 here early. First game of a doubleheader, non-conference doubleheader. HBU and Prairie View A&M doing battle here at Husky Field in Houston, Texas. Like I said, beautiful day, beautiful campus. Nice day for softball. Swing and a miss. And Cruz goes down swinging, and that'll do it. No runs on 1 hit. The double by Lunsford. She stranded at third. Let's go to the bottom of the third here from Husky Field in Houston, Texas. Your score, HBU 3, Prairie View A&M nothing. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, non-conference softball action from Houston today as the Huskies do battle with the Panthers of Prairie View A&M, bottom of the third. 2, 3, and 4 do here for HBU here in the third. Jaquez as Sidlik waits on deck, and she'll be followed by Brockway here. Jaquez, the senior out of Wharton, Texas. Wharton High School, left-handed hitter. Maya Hall works in the circle for Prairie View A&M. Hall, a freshman, listed from Palmyra, South Carolina, New Braunfels High School. There's a New Braunfels High School in South Carolina. She'll wind it, deal to Jaquez, and that pitch catches the outside corner for a strike, and that evens the count at a ball and a strike. Heidi Jaquez, senior, came back to give it one more try. Has been a just a stud behind the plate as a catcher. She'll pop that one up to shortstop. Fonseca drifts, and that ball just dies in no man's land. Jaquez will go for two. She slides under the tag, and she is safe. Nice base running there that time by the senior catcher, Heidi Jaquez, as that ball just died between, we talked about the ball carrying all day long. That ball just died over shortstop. Jaquez will stand at second with the bloop double, and that'll bring up Autumn Sidlik, leading hitter this year for these HBU Huskies. She'll take down the middle of the strike. Sidlik came into today's action 421. She's already up that with a base knock here in her first at bat, looking for the RBI right here. She takes high ball, and that'll even the count at a ball and a strike. Sidlik 421 coming in. 3 doubles, 3 RBIs on the young season, and she'll pop that straight up. The catcher looks, and the ball is safe. The ball falls, and that's going to be a base hit. It's going to be either a base hit or an error. We'll see what the official score is. Catcher Antone for Prairie View A&M, Sierra Antone, just had trouble finding that ball, and it drifted back in fair territory. And when the ball missed her glove, it just landed in fair territory. They will score that an E2. So Sidlik at first. Jaquez not able to advance on the play. And Brockway is the hitter. She'll take up high. So another opportunity for HBU here in the third is Caitlyn Brockway, the first baseman, Tomball Memorial High School Tomball native, stands in, sophomore, right-handed hitter, playing over at first base today, and she'll take down low a ball. Brockway 353 coming into today's action. Couple of doubles for her. 2 RBIs on the young season. And it looks like there'll be a visit on the mound. Maya Hall will have a visit from her head coach, Vernon Bland. Meeting of the minds here. Bottom of the third inning. If you're just joining us, welcome. Beautiful day here in Houston, Texas. So beautiful, we're going to play 2 today. 3-0 HBU Huskies leading it here in the bottom of the third, final non-conference tilt of the season. Now, we talked about, how things materialized getting to this point. It was almost 1 year ago today when I was sitting in this very seat for the first time, and we were excited. We were talking about a road trip to Hammond, Louisiana to play Southeastern Louisiana, and everybody knows what happened after that, and we never saw another softball game in 2020. So always bittersweet when I watch that video of our last game against Nichols. None of us had any idea that would be our last game. And we just kind of thank our lucky stars, and we're just all happy to be here seeing softball being played here in 2021. As that pitch is popped up, catcher will have another opportunity, and that one will hit, and it will land foul. Antone, the catcher, to her defense, not many clouds up there. This is a blue sky, and if you've ever played, especially behind the plate, having to throw that mask, that's a tough sky for a catcher to look up to, and she's struggling finding those balls here early in this game. 2-1 pitch to Brockway, that'll hit her. So Brockway is hit by the pitch. That's going to move Jaquez up to third. Sidlik at second. Bases will now be loaded, nobody out, and well, that's going to bring up again one of HBU's hottest hitters. This is J.C. Roberts playing at second base today. 364 coming into it. If you weren't with us, Ms. Roberts hit a screaming line drive over the 218 sign to straightaway center field to put the Huskies up 3-0 early in this game. She'll be looking to do some damage right here, as she just needs to put this ball in play, make something happen, because the bases are loaded, nobody out. And J.C. Roberts, redshirt freshman, Deer Park, Texas native, looking to add to her RBI total here in game one. She'll take up high a ball. Roberts came into today's game with a triple, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. So she's hit for some power, on base plus slugging, OPS of 955 coming in for the right-handed hitting Roberts. Bases loaded. Ooh, took that one down low, just probably caught that low and inside corner. Tough pitch from our vantage point here directly behind home plate. 2-1 the count. Maya Hall dealing for Prairie View as that pitch is grounded foul past the first baseman Garcia. She'll get it back into Hall. Count square 2-2. Roberts looking to do some damage, as we said right here. Put the ball in play, fly ball, take advantage of that wind, get this ball up in the wind, and you never know how that ball's going to carry. And she turned on another one and drilled that out of play. The ball bounces back into the left fielder, Laverne. Umpire will take a look and get it ready for play. Bottom of 3, 2-2 the count. Number 5 hitter in the lineup, J.C. Roberts, playing second base today. Not her normal position. She's played a lot, mostly in the outfield in her young career here at HBU, but with the injury to early in the season to Avery Drake, kind of put a strain on the infield for Coach Mary Ellen Hall. She's had to go to Roberts. Roberts will get that fielded to the third baseman. Will flip to the shortstop to get the force on Autumn, but Sidlik. But that'll get a run home and an RBI on the fielder's choice by Roberts. Jaquez will score. Sidlik retired 5-6 on the putout. '26 Riley Martin, the designated player, now will hit with 1 out. Runners at first and second for HBU. Hall delivers, and that pitch is outside. Martin, a newcomer to this HBU lineup. Freshman, true freshman. Left-handed hitter. Pearland, Texas, Pearland High School for Martin. In the lineup today for Coach Hall as the designated player, has a chance to affect this game. 2-1 as that pitch is in there. Has a chance with some ducks on the pond right now for HBU. Gets that pitch in there for a strike, and that'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Brockway stands at second. She was hit by a pitch. Roberts at first. Fielder's choice. Swing and a miss, and Martin is down swinging, and that'll be the second out of the inning for HBU. That'll bring up the Huskies' right fielder, 32, Sierra Humphreys. Humphrey, a junior outfielder from one of my favorite hometowns to pronounce in all of the world. Tecumseh, Oklahoma is where she comes from. Pitches down low, a ball. Interesting story. We were at the tournament that HBU played early last spring in Huntsville up at Sam Houston State. And Sierra Humphreys and her family was coming in when her grandmother was hit by a foul ball that came over the press box and basically sent her to urgent care. It was a scary situation. Grandma got everything taken care of at the urgent clinic, and she got back to watch about half of that ball game. So her Humphreys family down from Tecumseh to watch her play in Huntsville. She takes that pitch up high. One of those memorable moments in a very short season last year for these HBU Huskies. Sierra Humphreys, 273 on the young season. And she'll punch that one foul. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here. Bottom of the third, 1 run in for HBU as that pitch is fouled again. We'll wind it up and do it again. So game 1, non-conference doubleheader action today. Husky Field, Houston, Texas is where we are. Wind blowing across the field left to right. And we've already seen the wind affect a few line drives and one that got out of here for HBU off the bat of J.C. Roberts. That pitch is outside. It'll run the count full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2. Runners will be moving on the pitch. Chance for Humphreys if she can get something down, maybe score a run, get an RBI in this situation. 3-2 pitch from Hall. And she's going to be caught looking as that pitch was high and outside, must have caught the outside corner, and Humphreys is down looking. So the Huskies will scratch one more on the Fielder's Choice RBI by J.C. Roberts, bringing home Heidi Jaquez. We'll move to the top of the 4th from Husky Field in Houston, Texas. Your score, HBU 4, Prairie View A&M nothing. You're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, college softball from Husky Field in Houston, HBU Prairie View A&M. Top of 4, game 1 of the doubleheader. Lindy Swanson on the mound for HBU. Gabrielle Fonseca will hit that right over the shortstop's head and bloop that into left for a base hit. Cameron Parker brings it back in. Fonseca, number 3 hitter, shortstop. 3, 4, and 5 due here in the 4th inning for Prairie View, and that'll bring up the 3rd baseman, number 1, Alyssa Garcia. Garcia, a Houston, Texas native, graduate. It's a senior that's already fulfilled her academics. So that pitch is hit to right. Looks like that ball will get down and it will foul. The count will go 0-1. So a graduate senior, Alyssa Garcia, Houston, Texas. Cy-Fair area, Cypress Lakes High School. That's where she comes from. Standing in here is the cleanup hitter, 3rd baseman for this Prairie View A&M Panther squad today as they trail it 4-0 here against HBU here in the top of the 4th. Right-handed hitting Alyssa Garcia takes outside a ball, and the count moves to a ball and a strike. Lindy Swanson, well, she's finding the zone. She had a few put in play on her, but she's minimized the damage so far through 3 innings. That ball be hit down to Sidlik. Sidlik will look over to make the play at second, and it is not made. Runner is safe as the ball went off the glove of the second baseman, J.C. Roberts. Be an error on that play. Madison Parker, the designated player, come to the plate for Prairie View, right-handed hitter. Parker, a freshman, utility player, Belton, Texas native. Stand in here with a chance for Prairie View to get right back in this ball game as they have the first two runners aboard here in the fourth. So that pitch is outside from Swanson. So Swanson's having to work out of a little trouble here in the top of the fourth inning. Bloop single followed by an error has put the first two aboard here in the fourth for Prairie View A&M. Swanson be looking to get something on the ground. That pitch is down low, a ball. Runs the count to 2-0. Can't afford to lose this hitter. Don't want to load those bases, especially with nobody out here early in a 4-run lead. 2-0, nobody out. Lindy Swanson working to Madison Parker. She'll wind and deal and foul that ball straight back. Jaquez will get it back into Swanson. So HBU closing out the non-conference portion of the schedule this afternoon with this doubleheader. No midweek on the schedule this week. It starts for real in the Southland Conference starting this coming Friday as they will welcome the Wildcats of Abilene Christian to town. Swing and a miss. That'll square the count at 2-2. Madison Parker, designated player, facing Swanson. Up high a ball, and count moves to 3-2. Swanson, the redshirt freshman, Katy, Texas, St. John's Preparatory Academy, looking to work out of some fourth inning trouble here for HBU. Timeout is called. And there's a timeout as the runner is awarded first base. Not really sure without an official scoring what that was all about. Some type of interference or something. The umpire pointed out to the pitcher. I'm not sure what the I'm not sure exactly what the call was. Yeah, illegal pitch. That's what I'm being told. It was an illegal pitch in there. The hitter Parker was awarded first base. So now full-blown trouble for HBU. So we'll try to get a clarification on that, but there was some type of interference or illegal pitch. It was to be a 3-2 count, and then the batter was awarded first base. Bases loaded, and that pitch is hit into center field, a base hit. One run will score. Center fielder up for it. Riley Bullen, nice throw back into the pitcher, and it's an RBI base hit for the catcher, Serena Antone. So she lines the first pitch right back up the box. And Prairie View A&M right back in this ball game as they trail it now 4-1 in the top of the fourth. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. And I believe we're going to have a pitching change as assistant coach Natalie Duran makes the sign that we're going to change the circle. So we've got a pitching change. We've got a new pitcher coming in. We'll tell you all about her in just a second. For the time being, let's step aside for just a second. 4-1, HBU leads it with the bases loaded, nobody out, top of the fourth, and new pitcher coming in. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back on the Husky Sports Network, Rodney Sidlik ready to give you the play-by-play this afternoon's doubleheader. New pitcher, Jessica Patak for the Huskies of HBU. A straight 1.0 earned run average, 2-1 record, 3 games, 3 starts, 1 complete game on the season for Patak. And she steps into a full-blown mess here for HBU. '21, the right fielder Cameron Laverne steps in for HBU or for Prairie View A&M. Bases loaded, still nobody out. Patak deals down low a ball. Patak, a junior from White Oak, Texas, White Oak High School. She deals up high and gets that high strike call that time to Laverne, the left fielder, right-handed hitter. She'll foul that straight back. Laverne, another graduate senior on this Prairie View A&M team. Outfielder hails from the greater Houston area, just down the road at Booker T. Washington High School. She's looking to come through in a big way here for Prairie View A&M. 1-2 pitch. Laverne couldn't lay off the high fastball. She'll foul it back, and the count remains 1-2. To the Panthers left fielder, Cameron Laverne, and now head coach Vernon Bland will have something to say to the umpire. You have a courtesy runner come in now, number 33 for Prairie View A&M. That's Tony Espinosa, a sophomore from San Antonio, Texas. Sandra Day O'Connor High School, and she will be the pinch runner at second. Antone, the catcher, remains at first as that ball is dribbled down to Brockway. She'll come home to Jaquez for the force out, throw back to Sidlik. The pinch runner is safe. Nice play that time by Caitlyn Brockway as 21 Cameron Laverne will reach on the fielder's choice. 3-2 on the put out of the fielder's choice, and that's a big play to get the first out. Bases remain loaded for the number 8 hitter in the lineup. That's Kyra Lunsford. Now Lunsford had the double to right field her first time at bat. Pearland, Texas, Glenda Dawson High School. So she's not far from home as she takes a strike. She's looking to do what she did last time as the bases remain loaded now. 1 out. Jessica Patak in relief of Lindy Swanson. Trying to get out of this mess for HBU. And so far, so good. As she retired the first batter to fielder's choice to take down the runner at third, and now has got the number 8 hitter down in an 0-2 hole. A strikeout would be big right here for Patak as she deals. Gets up high. I don't blame her. I would work that high strike zone that we have here today. Work that one to your advantage, especially when you're in the count advantage, as she was 0-2. Good 0-2 pitch, because a lot of those hitters are having to go fishing after that high fastball. The way the umpire's calling this one. So 1-2, 1 out, bases loaded. Patak gets a pop-up behind third. Sidlik will chase. Shortstop Eccles chases, but nobody's going to be able to get to that one. It'll drop into foul territory, and we'll wind it up and do it again. Jessica Patak, as she works to Kyra Lunsford. Bree Grays, the number 9 hitter, waits on deck for Prairie View as Patak deals, and that ball is hit a ton to left field, but that's going to get out of play. Turned on that one and got a little air under it And she showed some pop in that first at-bat. She hit a rocket over Sierra Humphreys in right field. So she's shown a little pop in that bat early. Now she's got a chance for an RBI with the bases loaded and only one out for Prairie View here in the top of the fourth. One run already in for the Panthers, looking to do more. As that ball is popped out, shortstop Eccles has it, and boy, that's a big out to hold the runners. Now Patak has a chance to get out of this with no damage as she will work to the number 9 hitter, Bree Grays. Coach Vernon Bland again checking with the umpires. We're going to have another courtesy runner or what we've got here. I think we're going to have a pinch hitter in this situation. As Grays, is going to take a seat and give way to number 23. That's Jaslyn Perry, an outfielder from Douglasville, Georgia, is going to stand in and pinch hit for Grays. Jaslyn Perry, an outfielder by trade, right-handed hitter, freshman, will operate with the bases loaded. Trying to get something out of this bases loaded, nobody out situation for HBU as Patak deals up high, trying to get that strike zone, doesn't get it, and it's 1-0. And I tell you what, Patak, yeoman's duty here in relief, full-blown jam, bases loaded, nobody out, and she got a grounder's fielder's choice to cut off a run and then a pop out, looking to get this pinch hitter in the number 9 hole as the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Jaslyn Perry, pinch hitter, number 9 hole, stands in against Jessica Patak. Nice pitch. Down low. Didn't get the call. I know Patak wanted that one. She wanted that in the worst way. Like I said, from our vantage point here, straight behind home plate, hard to see when that pitch is down low, but that's what it was called. So that'll run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Big batter here for Jessica Patak in relief of Lindy Swanson here in the top of the fourth. She'll wind, she'll deal, swing and miss by the pinch hitter, Perry. Now Perry has to protect. She looks down at her coach, trying to make something happen for these Prairie View Panthers here in the fourth as they're down 4-1. Huskies leading it here 4-1, top of the fourth inning, 2 outs for HBU. Winds, pitch, swing, and a miss. Struck her out, and what a job in relief by Jessica Patak, who comes in and gets out of a full-blown jam for HBU. The Panthers are able to scratch one, and we'll go to the bottom of the fourth here at Husky Field in Houston. Your score, HBU 4, Prairie View A&M 1. You're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network. Bottom of 4 we go from Houston. HBU leading at 4-1. 14, Cameron Parker steps in for HBU. Cameron Parker 0 for 1 on the day. .167 was her average coming in as she takes low a ball. Tell you what, not much you could say about the work Jessica Patak in relief got out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation without any run scoring. And that's tough to do as the pitch from Hall. Hall remains in this game for Prairie View A&M. She's working her 4th inning. As she works to the number 8 hitter, Cameron Parker. She'll hit the bunt down. Hall will feel it. Timeout is called, and okay, we've got some more business going out behind plate. Stepped on the plate, and the batter is called out. So she's retired. Riley Bullen will step in for HBU. So Cameron Parker retired for the first out here in the 4th. Number 9 hitter Riley Bullen, 385 on the season. Pretty healthy average coming in for the number 9 hitter. Bullen. Bullen, one of those returning seniors for this HBU squad. League City, Texas native, Clear Creek High School, San Jacinto Junior College transfer. Riley, excellent defensive work out there in center field. Number 9 hitter today for the HBU Huskies. She takes a strike, moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Waiting on deck, leadoff hitter Shelby Eccles. Bullen swings and misses. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. 1 out here, bottom of the 4th. Huskies leading it 4-1 over Prairie View A&M. That pitch is hammered into left center, and that ball will get down. Laverne can't get there, and Bullen will pull up and check in with a 1-out double. She was able to fist that thing out into left center. Laverne, the left fielder, and Love, the center fielder, neither one of them could get to that ball as it was in no man's land, and it'll drop in an easy double for Riley Bullen, and that will turn the lineup over. It'll bring up the left-handed hitting leadoff hitter, Shelby Eccles. Shelby 0 for 1. She walked, and she scored ahead of that J.C. Roberts' first inning home run. Shelby came in 462 was her average. She'll take outside a ball. So Bullen at second. She stands there with 1 out for the leadoff hitter, Shelby Eccles. Bottom of the 4th with the Huskies leading at 4-1. Maya Hall continues to do the work in the circle for the Panthers. She'll deal up high a ball. Runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike on Shelby Eccles. So don't go anywhere. Following today's game, we'll have game 2. So we got a double dip, and you couldn't have ordered better weather for this time of year in Houston, Texas for softball, as that pitch is slapped foul left side. Yeah, when they say Chamber of Commerce afternoon, this is one of those Chamber of Commerce afternoon. Just telling some of the folks up here in the press box today, would love to be at that College Classic today at Minute Maid Park with the roof open. Just a beautiful day to be watching ball. As she'll look at it, and Eccles is gone looking for the second out here in the first inning. So Eccles a strikeout victim, and that'll bring up the senior catcher, number 2 hitter Heidi Jaquez. Jaquez with a double to her credit today. 467 coming in for left-handed hitting catcher. She'll hit that one right up the box for a base hit. Let's see if it can score a run. She'll come around home to score. Throw to the plate will be late. Jaquez checks in at second. Bullen scores, and the Huskies lead it 5-1. Nice piece of hitting that time by the senior catcher, Heidi Jaquez, as she just blasted that pitch right where it came from, up the box. And she is a talented backstop and talented hitter, veteran player, knows how to hit, and she just took that pitch right back up the box. So 2 outs. Jaquez at second for the Huskies' hottest hitter, Autumn Sidlik, the third baseman. Sidlik, and she's looking to get one out of here to left field. That ball will just go foul. Little out in front of that as usual for Sidlik. It's got those quick hands. And I just have a feeling with this wind blowing today, Sidlik's going to get her something up in that jet stream and drive it out of here. Just got that feeling. Right-handed hitting third baseman out of Conroe Oak Ridge High School. Amanda Brimberry product out of Conroe Oak Ridge, and she's hit by the pitch, and she'll go down to first base. Too bad. I'd like to see Sidlik swing in that situation, especially with 2 outs, so she could just let it fly. But no slouch behind her, and the cleanup hitter Caitlyn Brockway from Tomball, Texas, Tomball Memorial, and Coach Vernon Bland is going to call another timeout. We may have seen the last of Maya Hall on that last pitch. Not sure if they want Hall to pitch to the cleanup hitter Caitlyn Brockway, already trailing 5-1. And yes, that's going to be all for Hall as she'll give way to the new pitcher. We'll tell you all about her when we come back. Let's take a timeout. It's HBU 5, Prairie View A&M 1. You're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back on the Husky Sports Network. 2 outs, 2 on for the cleanup hitter Caitlyn Brockway, the first baseman. She'll take down low for a ball. 1-0. New pitcher on for Prairie View A&M's 32, Jerica Rojas. Rojas is a freshman. Sebastian, Texas, Lyford High School. As that ball is pounded out to left field, it's high, it's deep, and it is out of here. Brockway with the 3-run bomb, and the Huskies lead it 8-1. Wow. That ball got out of here in a hurry. She got under that one, and the jet stream just took that thing out to left center. Brockway will touch them all, and the Huskies lead it 8-1. And I told you before long, somebody was going to get one up in that jet stream, and it was going to get out of here. And, you know, Sidlik and Brockway are probably 1-2 in power on this ball club, along with J.C. Roberts. J.C. more of a line drive hitter. I've seen J.C. hit some serious line drives that got out of here. She's powerful. She'll step in to hit now. Huskies with an 8-1 lead. Compliments of that 3-run bomb off the bat of Caitlyn Brockway. Roberts takes up high ball. I'll try to keep you up to date with some stuff going on around the Southland Conference. About everybody in the conference playing today. Out in Lubbock, Abilene Christian, our first conference opponent, they're scoreless in the top of the third, playing against Texas Tech, and that ball is pounded past the center fielder Love. J.C. Roberts will head into second. She will stand there with a stand-up double, and the bats have come alive here in the bottom of the fourth for HBU. As this young pitcher, Jerica Rojas, right-hander from Sebastian, Texas, Lyford High School. And I know where Lyford is, because if you're ever headed down to the RGV, the Rio Grande Valley, in that Raymondville area, Lyford is one of those first towns you pass through on your way to Harlingen, as we pass through on the way down to South Padre Island for our summer trip down there every year. Got a lineup change for Coach Mary Ellen Hall, as Sarah Vinker will step in to hit. She'll step in to hit with 2 outs and nobody on, with 1 on, Robert standing at second. Now, Vinker is a pitcher by trade, Houston, Texas native out of Episcopal High School, transfer from Ball State University. As a position player, mostly a pitcher, but has swung the bat so far this year. Get some stats on Vinker. She takes high ball. Usually looking for pitching stats on Vinker. She doesn't have an average. She has a couple of at-bats. There's 6 at-bats so far, 0 for 6 on the season. Right-handed hitter. And a chance to swing it here with Roberts at second and 2 outs, and the Huskies leading it 8-1. So a couple of big blows today for these Huskies. First inning 3-run bomb, J.C. Roberts. 4th inning 3-run bomb, Caitlyn Brockway. And those two have combined to push the Huskies to an 8-1 lead. Vinker takes low a ball. So she's looking at a 3-0 count. Takes a strike. Move the count to 3-1. Vinker at bat. Looks like we may have another pitcher, another hitter, pinch hitter if the inning continues here for HBU. Vinker will take low in the dirt, and that's a ball. We're going to have another pinch hitter coming to the plate for the Huskies. It'll be number 27, Jackie Jessup. Jessup, a freshman, listed as a 6-foot utility player, right-handed hitter, right-handed thrower. Sugar Land, Texas native, Fort Bend Christian Academy for her. Pitches up high a ball. Jessup, no average on the season, only 4 at-bats on the young season for Jessup. Right-handed hitting freshman. Pitches high again for a ball as Rojas continues to struggle with her control here in the bottom of the fourth for Prairie View. Jackie Jessup, she'll look at ball 3. So Rojas is struggling to find the strike zone here in the bottom of the fourth. Already 4 on the board in this inning for HBU. They lead it 8-1. Coach Mary Ellen Hall kind of emptying her bench at this point as that pitch is not close. That'll be another walk. The bases are loaded again, and that'll bring up Cameron Parker. Coach Vernon Bland will come to the mound to have a word with his young pitcher, Jerica Rojas. Parker will step in for HBU, left fielder. Parker 0 for 2 on the day. 167 her average coming in. Left-handed hitter. So the bases are loaded again, and HBU with an opportunity to blow this thing wide open right now if Parker can get a base hit. She pops it up. Second baseman is out, Grays, and she will have it, and that will retire the side. So 4 runs come across for the Huskies in the bottom of the 4th. Big blow coming off the bat of Caitlyn Brockway with the 3-run homer. We'll go to the top of the 5th from Husky Field, Houston, Texas. Your score, HBU 8, Prairie View A&M 1. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, beautiful, beautiful afternoon for softball here in Houston South. We're on the southwest side of Houston, Houston Baptist University. Beautiful campus, beautiful day, and a beautiful game if you're an HBU Husky fan as they lead it 8-1 here as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Prairie View A&M will send the top of the lineup up, and that'd be center fielder Riley Love as she'll try to put a bunt down. He goes foul. Love 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. She'll be followed by the 2 and 3 hitter Cruz and Fonseca here in the 5th inning for Prairie View A&M. Jessica Patak is on, and that pitch is hit right back over her head into center field. Nice piece of hitting that time by the Panthers leadoff hitter Riley Love, as she'll do what leadoff hitters are supposed to do, and that's find a way to get on base, and she'll get on base to lead off this inning, and it'll bring up the right fielder Bianca Cruz. Cruz, a right-handed hitter. Junior Rio Hondo. Another one of those players from the RGV, Rio Grande Valley area. Left-handed hitter. Takes a ball, 1-0 the count.
Wait, sorry. Yeah.
Love the runner at first base, a leadoff hitter, and we have time called. I think some dogs are making some noise down the Huskies are barking here down the left field line. Count even at a ball and a strike on the Panthers right fielder, Bianca Cruz. Junior. Strike. Moves the count to 1-2. So 1-2 the count, nobody out. Leadoff person aboard for Prairie View here in the top of the fifth. First game, doubleheader action today from Husky Field. That pitch is up high, a ball, and that'll even the count at 2-2 strikes for Jessica Patak. Came on in relief of Lindy Swanson. Bases loaded, nobody out. Proceeded to get 3 outs with nobody scored, and that's about as good of a working out of a jam situation as you're going to get for that young lady. Swing and a miss, struck her out. So 1 out here, top of the fifth, and that'll bring up the 3-hitter shortstop, Gabrielle Fonseca. Women's basketball action going on here today at HBU. HBU women leading it over the Islanders of A&M Corpus Christi. Second quarter action, 28-13. Huskies women's team need that win today in order to qualify for the Southland Conference Tournament next week in Katy. Always a fun time out at the Merrill Center this time of year. Another one of our unfortunate events that was canceled last year. The pitch is fouled back. 1-1. Men's and women's tournament action. Southland Conference Tournament, basketball tournament at the Merrill Center in Katy. Been keeping up with that on both sides. Pitch is fouled back a ball. Tournament rosters are the tournament bracket was expanded this year, both on the men's and women's side, to 10 teams. So a lot of teams going to be headed down to Katy. I've been following my alma mater, Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin on the men's side are playing a regular season finale as the Bearcats are trying to secure that #1 seed on the men's side. It's a swing and a miss. Struck her out. That's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Patak. And that'll bring up third baseman Alyssa Garza. So it's an interesting time of the year, to say the least, in the Southland Conference. With some teams, I know talking to some of my friends, colleagues in the sports information department, as the runner takes off, throw down, nice throw, and she is out. Nice play that time by the catcher. And that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the fifth here at Husky Field in Houston. Your score, HBU 8, Prairie View A&M 1. You're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, Rodney Sidlik, game 1. Doubleheader today. Riley Bullen steps in for HBU as the Huskies lead it 8-1. Bottom of 5. Bullen at bat. She has a hit and 2 trips. That batting average up to 400. Pretty solid work out of the number 9 hole. She'll foul that one back. senior League City, Texas native. Playing center field today for the HBU Huskies. She had a double. 2 at-bats. Facing the freshman Jerica Rojas, pitching for Prairie View as that ball is hit into center field. Love underneath it. She'll have it. It's back into Grays, and there's one down here in the 5th for HBU. That'll turn the lineup over. Let's go back to the top. Shortstop number 8, Shelby Eccles, will step in for HBU. 0 for 2 on the day as a strike and a walk and a strikeout. Carrying a 400 average in here today. Left-handed hitter takes the pitch outside a ball. 1 run on 4 hits for Prairie View with an error. 8 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for HBU. As we play in the bottom of the 5th inning, here from Houston. Rojas' pitch is down low, a ball. Runs the count to 2-0 on the Husky leadoff hitter. Shortstop Shelby Eccles. That pitch misses. Count goes to 3-0. Eccles, a redshirt freshman, was with the ball club last year. Second baseman, shortstop, infielder. St. Agnes Academy. That's where she played her high school ball. Hails from Pearland. She'll take the free pass, and she'll stand at first with 1 out for the number 2 hitter, Heidi Jaquez, senior catcher. Heidi Jaquez, 2 for 3 on the day. She has continued to swing a hot bat, pushed her average back up to 500. Another left-handed hitting. The HBU backstop, back for another crack at her senior year, hopefully to get a complete senior year in here. And she's been a rock of this Mary Ellen Hall coach team as the catcher. Takes that pitch down low, a ball. And once again, Rojas struggling to find the strike zone for Prairie View A&M. Left-handed hitting senior catcher Heidi Jaquez, 2-0 the count. Jaquez, a Wharton, Texas native. And she'll dribble that ball foul past first base. Nice hands down there by HBU assistant coach Natalie Duron. We'll run the count to 2-1 on Jaquez. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Game 1, doubleheader. Non-conference action here for HBU. Pitches up high, a ball. Three and one. 1 out. Pitches up high again, a ball. And Jaquez will stroll down to first base with a walk. And that'll bring up the hot-hitting Autumn Sidlik. Sidlik will definitely be looking to get something in her wheelhouse right here. Strong right-handed hitting third baseman. She'll take down low, a ball. Had a pregame interview. Well, it was actually yesterday with Sidlik. We talked a little bit about the team and how it's the direction it's going. 5-1. They came in here today playing some good ball. Sidlik, the leading hitter on this Husky team. And she gets hit again. That's the second time Sidlik's been hit by a pitch today. And she'll politely stroll down to first base, and all of a sudden the Huskies have the bases loaded again. And I know, knowing Sidlik the way I know her, I know she's thinking, man, you keep hitting me and giving my teammate Brockway all the RBI opportunities here today. You're stealing my thunder there. And I know coming into this game, as good as both Brockway and Sidlik were hitting, but I know Sidlik told me yesterday she's looking, she was looking to really get some stuff to hit today, back in front of the home crowd, getting the team going before conference play. And like I said, my money was on her leaving this yard at some point today. Just the conditions clear, little wind blowing out. And I know she's been going well because I've seen some of the games early in the season. She's been taking the ball to right field, and when Sidlik's taking the ball to right field, that means she's seeing it well. So Brockway will step in, sophomore first baseman. Bases loaded, homered her last time up. A monster shot. She'll be looking to find something that she can drive here as Rojas continues to struggle to find the strike zone for Prairie View. Pitches down low, a ball, 1-0. And I'm going to tell you what, if she gets one up in the strike zone to Brockway, that we've already seen once today what kind of damage Brockway can do when she gets a pitch to hit. And she pops that one up, got under it, center fielder back, still back, and it is gone again as Brockway gets under that one, but gets enough to get it out of here, and that is a grand slam home run for Caitlyn Brockway. Wow. 7 RBIs today for Brockway. And that will run the score to 12-0, or 12-1, excuse me. And I believe that will be ball game. Yeah, as that blast will end it. So that will be the run rule in effect after 5 innings. So Brockway with the grand slam and a 3-run home run. So her RBI total going through the roof today. Summarize it for you real quickly. 12 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for HBU, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for Prairie View A&M. Winning pitcher Lindy Swanson, I believe, will still get the win. Jessica Patak comes in and finishes up, does yeoman's work in relief as she worked out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. She came in to pitch well. And home runs today, J.C. Roberts with a 3-run home run, but the star of the game today has to be Brockway, Caitlyn Brockway, the Tomball, Texas native, as she takes 2 of them out today, a 3-run homer and a grand slam, and it powers HBU to the 12-1 win here in Game 1. Stand by. From what I'm being told, we're going to keep the feed up. I'm going to go rest the voice for a minute and see what's going on down on the field, take a break. And so stand by with us, probably 15 to 20 minutes between games here, give or take. So keep it on the feed wherever you are watching today. Keep the feed up, and we'll be back to give you the starting lineups for Game 2 as soon as they're available and get you set for the second game of the day. So once again, our final score from Houston, Game 1 of the non-conference doubleheader, HBU 12, Prairie View A&M 1. Stand by. The second game is coming your way in just a few moments. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, Rodney Sidlik, game 2 of the doubleheader. HBU Huskies taking game 1, 12-1, 5-inning rule. As Riley Love will step into the box for Prairie View. She takes a strike and count runs to 0-1. Pitch is fouled off. 21 right-handed pitcher Sarah Vinker, 4.50 earned run average, taking the circle game 2. Defensively for HBU, left to right in the outfield, Parker left, Bullen center, Humphreys right. Sidlik, Eccles, Roberts, Brockway, third to first on the infield. Jaquez catching as that pitch is blooped over, and in comes the left fielder, Parker. She can't get there. It bloops in and have a leadoff single for Riley Love to start the game for Prairie View. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brandy Juarez. Juarez, a freshman from Rosenberg, Texas, B.F. Terry High School, right-handed hitter. Manning second base, did not play in the first game today. As she faces Vinker with a runner on and nobody out here in the first. Vinker deals, pops it up, Jaquez back, and she's got it. Runner tagging, throw down, and she'll get back to first. That's Love. Nice play by the senior catcher, Heidi Jaquez, on the straight pop back. She's got it, and that's the first out here in the top of the first. We'll bring up the third baseman, number 1, Alyssa Garcia. Garcia, hometown Houston, Texas native. Cy Lakes High School, right-handed hitter. Manning third base here. She played in both games. She started the first game, starting off here in the second game too, at third base. She'll work. One out and a runner at first base. Sarah Vinker. That pitch is driven foul. Sarah Vinker, sophomore right-handed pitcher, utility player, does some hitting as we saw that in the first game. Episcopal High School, Ball State transfer. 450 earned run average, 2 appearances, 1 start, 1 complete game, 4 innings under her belt, and that ball is belted back up the middle of base hit. Fielded in center by Bullet. She falls down, and the runner will advance to third as she slipped in center field. As alert base running by Riley Love, as she'll pick that up and head on over to third. So first inning trouble here for Sarah Vinker. Kimberly Hernandez, number 15, the catcher, senior, Pearland, Texas native, Pearland High School. She'll be doing the catching. She's sitting in the cleanup spot here for Prairie View. Baker be looking to get that double play ball, and the strikeout in this situation works the outside corner for a strike. As we said, Prairie View only 2 games coming into today. They came into today 0-2. Midweek a couple of weeks ago, they traveled to Stevensville, Texas to take on the Tarleton Texans. Came up 0-2 in that doubleheader. And they're the only 2 games this team has played as Hernandez waves through a fastball high in the zone. That'll take the count out to 0-2. So with a 12-1 win, HBU moves their non-conference record to 6-1. So they picked up 2 non-conference wins over Nichols as the pitch is up high a ball. Even though they were traveling to play a conference opponent, it wasn't a conference. They weren't considered conference games, a doubleheader. So 6-1, the non-conference record, looking to run that to 7-1 as they will start Southland Conference play here at Husky Field next week. Again, swing and a miss as she blows that one by the catcher, Hernandez, for the strikeout. Big strikeout with the runner at third base and 1 out. Now Vinker can concentrate on the hitter and try to get out of this first inning trouble as she will face Jaden Mason, a freshman playing in left field today, number 26. Mason, Kennesaw, Georgia native, Kennesaw Mountain High School. Outside corner just misses for Vinker. 2 outs. Leadoff hitter Riley Love is standing at third. She reached on a knock. Alyssa Garcia, first base for Prairie View. As that pitch is lined right back to Brockway. She'll nail it, and that'll retire the side. No runs, a couple of hits for the Panthers in the first. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. No score here from Husky Field in Houston. You're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, Rodney Sidlik, game 2. Doubleheader action, non-conference action here. Husky Field, Huskies taking on Prairie View A&M game 2. Doubleheader, Huskies victorious in game 1, 12-1 behind a couple of Caitlyn Brockway home runs. Home run by J.C. Roberts as well as that pitch is up high to Shelby Eccles, the shortstop, leading it off here for HBU. Shelby, freshman, redshirt freshman, was with the ball club last year. Pearland, Texas native. She attended high school at St. Agnes Academy in Houston. She'll take outside a ball. Eccles coming in 400 on the season. 6 games started. She's done well. 6 hits, a double, triple, a couple RBIs for the leadoff hitter, Shelby Eccles. Deja Tapia is the pitcher in the circle for the Panthers here for game 2 as she works it outside strike to the Husky leadoff hitter Shelby Eccles. Tapia from San Antonio, Texas, junior, Earl Warren High School. Up high ball, and that'll run the count out to 3 balls and a strike. Shelby Eccles looking to do what leadoff hitters do, is get on base via the walk. Get on base any way she can. She scored 5 runs already on this young season, so consummate leadoff hitter. She'll go back and have a word with third base coach Ron Wilhite. Wilhite, a veteran. Has a conversation with his young leadoff hitter, Eccles, and she'll step back into the box with a 3-1 count. Panthers picked up 2 hits but couldn't get a run across in the first inning off of Sarah Vinker. So Tapia working to her catcher, Kimberly Hernandez, and that pitch is up high, and Eccles will draw the leadoff walk. So that'll bring up the senior backstop, catcher Heidi Jaquez. Jaquez had a nice day in the first game. 2 for 3, scored 3 runs and had an RBI. That average up to 500. The senior catcher out of Wharton, Texas. Looking to get aboard here in the first, and she'll line that one down the right field line. That will go to the wall for extra bases. Jaquez has got it as Eccles will round third. She will score, and Jaquez checks in with a RBI double, and Jaquez continues to swing the hot bat here for HBU as she'll bring home the leadoff hitter, Shelby Eccles, who walked. The walk comes home to roost, and the Huskies take an early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Autumn Sidlik, power hitting third baseman, Conroe Oak Ridge High School. Looking for something she can drive. Ooh, pitches on the outside corner. Caught the corner as a strike. Sidlik 500 coming in as her average. 7 runs, seven hits, a couple of doubles, 3 RBIs on the young season. And I know she's looking to do some serious damage into that wind here this afternoon. She takes down low a ball. She's giving her a hard time between games, talking to her, said, you know, she was basically padding Brockway's RBI stats by getting hit by a couple pitches in that first game. Chased home by the Brockway home run, so she's looking. I think them quick hands out and grounds that one foul, and now Sidlik in a hole 0-2. Trying to trade places with Heidi Jaquez. Jaquez stands at second. She got the scoring started with an RBI double down the right field line. Really good piece of hitting there by Jaquez. Now Sidlik looking to get something that she can turn on here. Get aboard and stake HBU to an early lead as that pitch was way outside. Sidlik spoiled it. Stuck the bat out there and didn't want to get called out. Liberal strike zone going on today behind the plate, especially that pitch up high. Sidlik did a good job right there, just sticking the bat out, spoiling it to live to see another pitch. Tapia looking in to Hernandez to get the sign, and she'll deal to Sidlik. Pitch is fouled up first baseline. First baseman will give it a look. That's Williams in there to play first base. Jaya Williams. So 1-2 the count, nobody out. First 2 aboard, 1 is already scored here for HBU. Sidlik dribbles, foul, left side. So the count remains 1-2. And that's usually the formula with Sidlik at the plate. If you can get ahead of her and you can start nibbling and get her to try to go fishing outside the strike zone. Sidlik has shown a great deal of discipline so far on this early season. It's reflected in that 500 batting average. Looks up, takes high, ball. Squares the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sidlik made the move back over to third base. Started there as a freshman and moved over to first base in the 2020 season. And with the departure of Katie Schaefer, Sidlik more than willing to move back to third base. Again, fouls the pitch off. Defensive swing. She stays alive at 2-2. So Sidlik battling up here as scores from around the conference softball. Next weekend's opponent, Abilene Christian, with fell in a game 1-0. They were beaten today. Good pitching job out of Abilene Christian. They fall in a 1-0. As that ball is dribbled out to center field, it will be caught by Love in center. Jaquez will have to stay put, and Sidlik is retired on the fly out to center. And that'll bring up the hero of game number 1, Caitlyn Brockway. Brockway with 7 RBIs. If I can add right, I know she had 2 home runs, a grand slam, and a 3-run shot. And My limited math skills still add up to 7 RBIs. She had herself a day. Other games around the Southland Conference, Lamar is really, really struggling on the young season. They fell to Campbell in College Station 9-1. Central Arkansas, 8-0 winner over Mississippi Valley State. Kansas City up 6-3. They beat Abilene in the first game that Abilene played in that tournament in Lubbock today. Pitch is outside. UIW fell in El Paso as they took on the Grizzlies of the University of Montana, 5-1. So that gets you kind of caught up on what's going on around the Southland Conference. It all starts for real here Friday night at Husky Field. Wildcats of Abilene Christian will come in to take on your Houston Baptist Huskies. Pitch down a ball, and the count moves to 3-0. And somehow I have a feeling that Prairie View A&M head coach Vernon Brand doesn't want anything to do with Caitlyn Brockway here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Brockway 3-0, and she's not about to go after that. And with the base open in first, you had to know that Tapia was going to pitch around the hot-hitting first baseman for HBU. Brand out of the dugout, and I think we're going to have a pitching change here, and we will. We'll step aside for a minute, get you all the particulars on the new Prairie View A&M Panthers pitcher. Bottom of the first inning, 1 out. Huskies leading it 1-0. You're watching HBU Softball, the Husky Sports Network. Back here at Husky Field, runners at first and second, 1 out. Ball is popped up to left. Left fielder back. Looks like she'll have room, and she will. Runners will tag and move up. So that was J.C. Roberts swinging at the first pitch, getting it out to left field, trying to get that ball up in the air because even though that was a lazy pop-up, that ball carried. So Roberts retired, second and third for Lindy Swanson. Pitched the first game. Got about a dual threat here, Lindy Swanson. Now that's yeoman's work. That's a good player right there. You can put a player in the circle one game and put a bat in her hand the second game. So she is the designated player for the second game, Lindy Swanson. She'll take down low a ball, runs the count to 1-1. Shayna Johnson, sophomore out of Frazier Park, California, taking the circle for Prairie View. Swanson fouls that pitch off. So don't have a lot of stats on the Prairie View players, so limited information as far as what they've done. But like I said, they've only played 2 games prior to the first game today. So Shayna Johnson in relief of Deja Tapia here for Prairie View in the first inning. As that ball is hit over shortstop, that'll get in a base hit. 1 run will score. Brockway coming home. She will score. Throw down to second, and she is safe. And yes, she may have come off the bag, but no. 2 runs are going to score on an RBI single by Lindy Swanson as she just poked that ball over shortstop, and with 2 outs and the runners breaking, 2 runs scored easily for HBU, and the Huskies are taking early 3-0 lead here in the first inning. Riley Bullen, 7-hitter, center fielder, will step in for HBU. Off the bat, foul. So Johnson on in relief of Tapia for Prairie View. 7-hitter, Riley Bullen, 375 as she stands in here in the second game. League City, Texas native. Clear Creek High School, San Jacinto, and that ball is grounded. Good play by the second baseman, up and she is safe. Brandy Juarez, the second baseman, with a dandy of a play in the hole. She went to her right and was able to lay out and glove it. Just not enough time to get up and throw the speedy Bullen. And that'll bring up Sierra Humphreys, right fielder. The conference on the mound. So 3 runs in, first and third situation for the junior right fielder Sierra Humphreys, native of Tecumseh, Oklahoma. Stands in, left-handed hitter. Gotta say a big hello out to my man Caleb Sharp watching today's game out in Iowa. He's catching some HBU softball action today on the Husky Sports Network. Hope things are going well for you, my man, down up there in Iowa. I assume you're not having as good a weather as we're having down here today, because it is gorgeous here in Houston today, probably low 70s. Got a little wind blowing, and it is coming to play. Humphreys ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Baseball final today from Lafayette, 5-2. The Cajuns a winner over the HBU men's baseball team. Know that Louisiana program well with head coach Matt Deggs. Spent a couple years, did an excellent job over at Sam Houston State. Moved back to take over that Raging Cajuns program after the death of Coach Robichaud over there in Lafayette. A sad state of affairs, but all the best to Deggs. The HBU men falling short there in Lafayette. Pitch is up high, a ball. Pitch was close. That pitch wouldn't have been a ball in the first game. So 3-0 the count, Sierra Humphreys. Right fielder, Cameron Parker. Left fielder waits on deck for HBU. Strike on the outside corner. 2 outs, second and third. As Bullen moved up on the wild pitch, he stands there at second. Swanson at third. She had RBI. Pitches up high a ball, and Humphreys walks, and that'll load him up for the number 9 hitter. Left fielder Cameron Parker, 111 on the young season. And a chance to get herself an RBI. Cameron Parker, utility senior, Liberty, Texas native, right-hander, 5'6". Back to play another year here. Getting a chance here out of the 9-hole for the Huskies, and she'll ground that over to shortstop, make the easy turn over to second. Smith to Juarez, and that will retire the side. So 3 runs on 3 hits. Well, maybe not. Let's see what we got here. Doesn't look like they're leaving the field, so let's say had an illegal pitch again. As the umpire will explain it to Prairie View head coach Vernon Brand. whatever they call new life here for Parker, as she will stand in, showing the no count. So it must have been a no pitch. Something on the pitch as the home plate umpire will go out to discuss it with Shayna Johnson, the Prairie View A&M pitcher. All things considered, we'll see what the count is. But we know Parker is back in there. The bases remain loaded. Panthers a little upset that it's like a 1-0 count. They thought they'd got themselves out of the inning. Pitches inside a ball. Cameron Parker, left-handed hitter, 2-0 the count, 2 outs, bases loaded, and she'll pop that ball out to left field, and it will go foul. She gets that one down. That's at least 2 RBIs. So Swanson will return to third, Bullen at second, Sierra Humphreys at first for the number 9 hitter, left fielder Cameron Parker. Started 5 games, 1 hit on the young season. Ball is fisted to the second baseman. That's Juarez. She's got it, and that'll retire the side. So 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave the bases loaded. We'll go to the top of the second from Husky Field in Houston. It's HBU 3, Prairie View A&M nothing. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here at Husky Field, Houston, Texas. Rodney Sidlik, Husky Sports Network, top of the second, and that pitch is just a little high. We might have a new pitcher in there, do we? 21? No. Sarah Vinker. Okay. Maybe it's just a mask. I don't know. Vinker working the top of the second. 1-0 count. That ball is fisted past third base, but it'll land foul. Kayla Lee, designated player, number 9. Standing in for Prairie View, Lee is a 5'8" sophomore, a former Galveston Ball Tornado. Heading the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful, beautiful day here in Houston, Texas. Wind swirling, blowing out, and 3 home runs. First game for HBU. Took advantage of that win. Brockway with 2, Roberts with 1. Brockway stole the show with a 3-run shot and a grand slam in that first game. 7 RBIs on 2 swings of the bat. Man, that'll pad your stats. Pitch is down low, and the count goes full on the Prairie View A&M designated player sophomore Kayla Lee. Vinker looks in to get the sign from Jaquez, and that ball will be fisted over shortstop as Eccles can't get it. To get it back in, and just a can of corn C&I blue base hit for Prairie View A&M. Jaya Williams, first baseman. Toccoa, Georgia native, right-handed hitter, squares to bunt and bunts it straight back. And not a lot of changes in first game to second game for this HBU squad. I mean, defensively, it's basically the same. They have to clean off my whiteboard. Not so much the case for Prairie View A&M, as they've trotted nearly a whole new lineup out here for game two. He said Huskies taking the first game 12-1 in 5 innings, up early 3-0. So pitch is down low, throw back down. Roberts covering as Brockway was on the charge, looking for the bunt. Sidlik and Brockway pinching in on the corners as Williams squares to bunt right out of the box. And now she'll pull it back, take a ball down low. So Sarah Vinker, Houston native sophomore, working here in the top of the second, game 2 of a non-conference doubleheader, and she's up high at ball. Count moves to 2-2. So 6-1 on the young season now for HBU, hoping to make it 7-1 and take some momentum into that conference series next weekend here at Husky Field as the pitch is up high at ball. And I know Coach Mary Ellen Hall and this club, they have their sights set on that conference tournament this year. Thought they were headed that way last year. You know, they came out, they had freshman heavy top of the lineup, young team, but looked like they had some potential moving forward as the pitch is fouled back. The season then cut short. I know the ultimate goal of this team is to get to Hammond, and I'm going to have to check that to make sure, but I think her conference tournament's still in Hammond this year. Vinker deals down low. And that's call strike 3. Williams is down looking. Natalie McLennan will step in, the number 8 hitter, right fielder for HBU. And I did get confirmation from my trusty stats person to my right. North Oak Park, Hammond, Louisiana. I know we were headed there. We were headed there last year. As the bunt is put down, Brockway will take a look. She'll get it over to Roberts covering for the put out and the sacrifice by the number 8 hitter, and that'll bring up Destiny Smith. Because the Huskies, following their opening conference series last year here at home that I was here for, were to hit the road the following weekend in Hammond, and we made note of the fact that we hoped it wasn't going to be the only trip to Hammond, and we never made a trip at all to Hammond last year. Pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. So Destiny Smith, the shortstop here in the second game, number 9 hitter, steps in for Prairie View, freshman. Seabrook, Texas, Clear Falls High School. Smith, as she pokes it out to left, Parker there under it, and she'll have it to retire the side. So no runs across for the Prairie View A&M Panthers at the top of the second. We'll move to the bottom of the second here at Husky Field, Houston, Texas. Game 2 of the doubleheader today. HBU leading it 3-0 over Prairie View. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning. HBU leading at 3-0. Leadoff hitter for HBU, Shelby Eccles, stands in. She'll poke that ball foul. Shayna Johnson in the circle. Coming on in relief today for Deja Tapia in the first inning. Tapia didn't even last the first inning as she was pulled by head coach Vernon Bland. Eccles looking to get something started here. Drew a walk her first time at bat. Count even at a ball and a strike. She'll poke that one back foul. Eccles, a freshman. Has played at second base and shortstop. Redshirt freshman with the ball club last year. Part of that freshman attack at the top of Coach Mary Ellen Hall's lineup last year. Hails from Pearland, Texas, St. Agnes Academy. Leadoff hitter for HBU, and she'll take that pitch on the outside. Call strike 3. And the natives are starting to bark below us here. As a little inconsistency noted in the strike zone. What do we got going on? 71-64 women's basketball action going on. Is that here? We're going on here at Sharp Gym. 1 minute, 22 seconds to go in this ball game. The Huskies are trying to play their way into the Southland Conference tournament today, and they're holding a 5-point lead with 1 minute and 22 seconds left. So we'll keep you up to date to that, but best of luck to the women of HBU, the basketball program, as they're trying to play their way across town to take part in that postseason tournament at the Merrill Center coming up next week. Heidi Jaquez, as she'll put that one out to right. That ball is deep, and it will go over the head of the right fielder, and Jaquez continues to tear the cover off the softball here this weekend as she got that up in the air over McClendon and Love. Neither one of them could get to that, and Jaquez is standing on second with a one-out double. She'll stand there for Autumn Sidlik. Sidlik 0 for 1 in this game. She had a hit and was hit by 2 pitches in the first game. She takes down low a ball. Sidlik, a sophomore. Like I said, moved from third base her freshman year. Man, first base, shortened season last year. And with the departure of Katie Schaefer, she moved back to third base. Versatile corner infielder, Sidlik is. Strong bat has moved up her way from started the season 7th in the order, but she's the leading hitter so far on the Husky team. And gets out of the way for that one because I don't think she wants to get hit another time today. Sidlik checking in 500 average. And done nothing to hurt that, but boy, the averages are going up for HBU today. Lays off a high fastball up in her eyes. 3-0, and Sidlik just can't seem, since that base hit her first time at bat in game 1, just hasn't been able to get anything to hit. She's either been walked or hit by a pitch, and, you know, then you get a little frustrated there. 3-0. Base open. Taken all the way for a strike. I'd say with the base open, you pitch around Sidlik, but I don't know if anybody wants to pitch around Sidlik to get to Brockway right now, the way Brockway's swinging the bat. So pick your poison here for this HBU lineup. 3-1 the count, 1 out. Jaquez stands at second, and those quick hands of Sidlik as she turns and pokes it down the third baseline foul. Count will go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sidlik 14 at bat. She scored 7 runs, 7 hits, a couple of doubles, 3 RBIs coming into today's game. Looking at a 3-2 pitch. She gets that one up in the air. That ball is high. It is deep, and it is gone. Home run, Autumn Sidlik. Well, I won't say I told you so, but I joked with her between games that she was going to get one out of here today, and had that feeling today, and then she just delivered. So outstanding as she got that ball up in the air, and there was no doubt that sucker was not going to come down the field of play. So Sidlik adds to the home run parade that Brockway and Roberts started in the first game. Sidlik with a couple of RBIs, and the Huskies now lead at 5-0. And like I said, matter of time on that one because, the conditions today, the way the wind's blowing, it just plays into the hands of hitters like Roberts and Brockway and Sidlik. And it was only time before Sidlik got hers, and she just did. And the Huskies now move to a 5-0 lead here in the second inning as Brockway, and she's just looking to do major damage at this point. She's the way she's swinging the bat. I mean, you can't deny what she did in the first game. 7 RBIs on 2 swings of the bat for the Tomball, Texas native. Right-handed hitting first baseman, Caitlyn Brockway, 357 coming in, and another one of those HBU hitters that has done nothing but raise her stat line here in this game. That pitch is down low, a ball. Even the count at 1-1. So Brockway at the plate, J.C. Roberts, another one of those home run hitting threats standing on deck for HBU. Facing Shayna Johnson for Prairie View. That pitch is lined to the third baseman, but nothing that she could do right there. Alyssa Garcia just stood there, and the ball nearly took her off the bag as that ball got down there in a hurry as Brockway just scalded that pitch down to the third baseman. I mean, it went off the third baseman and rolled nearly behind home plate. That's how hard that ball was hit. So aboard at first with 1 out following the Sidlik home run. Brockway stands at first for J.C. Roberts. Roberts, right-handed hitting freshman, and she turns on one and hits it over towards the HBU baseball field. Roberts, a redshirt freshman. She was with the ball club last year as part of that freshman attack at the top of Coach Hall's lineup last year. Picked up right where she left off. Roberts, 389. A final over in Sharp Gym. Some pitches fouled back with the women of HBU winning it over Texas A&M Corpus Christi, the Islanders, 78-70. So that will move the Huskies into the Southland Conference Tournament coming up next week at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. So not sure what the COVID rules are for that event, but it's always a good event if you can get out there and watch some college basketball. As the pitch is grounded to the shortstop, she'll come up and throw, and she got her. Or no, now saying she's safe. So an infield hit for Roberts. Brockway makes it down to second. Lindy Swanson will stand in for HBU. So 2 aboard. Smith fielded that ball. So he just got it down in the dirt. First baseman Williams wasn't able to handle it. So at first, as the ball gets away from the catcher Hernandez and the runners will move up, 1 out now as Brockway stands on third. The wild pitch. Roberts moves up to second. 1-0 the count on Lindy Swanson. 5 runs on 6 hits for HBU. No runs, 3 hits and an error so far for Prairie View A&M. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Huskies took the first game, 12-1 and 5. So the pitch is fouled back by Swanson. Lindy Swanson, pitcher by trade, but also swings the bat. Katy, Texas native, St. John's. St. John, the 22nd College Preparatory Academy. That's a mouthful. Right-handed hitter stands in there. And she will poke that one up, and that ball might land in no man's land, but Love, the center fielder, comes in, throw to the plate, the slide, and she is safe. Brock tagging up on the sacrifice fly. Love made a good throw there in center, just a little bit too deep to get the runner. So a sacrifice fly by Lindy Swanson gets the job done, moves the Husky lead to 6-0, and it will bring up the 7-hitter center fielder Riley Bullen. So Robert stands at third now, 2 outs. Hit the center deep. It's up, and it is gone. Bullen adds to the home run parade as she gets one just to the left of the Husky softball 218 sign. Line drive got that one out of here for Bullen. 2 RBIs for her, and it's 8-0 HBU. And the home run assault just continues here on this beautiful afternoon. Wind blowing out a little bit, and the Husky hitters are taking advantage of that, and it looks like Coach Bland is going to make his way out of the dugout. We may be looking at some changes here for Prairie View A&M. Which it looks like we're going to bring on a new pitcher. Let's step aside for a moment. We'll get you set with a new pitcher when we come back. We're in the bottom of the second inning. It's 8-0 HBU over Prairie View A&M. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Rodney Sidlik back on the Husky Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning, Huskies already leading at 8-0 as Coach Vernon Bland will bring on his third pitcher of the afternoon. Number 19, Carafucci, right-handed pitcher, 5'4" senior, Cypress, Texas native, Cy Falls High School. Pitches in there for a strike as she works to the designated hitter, or excuse me, the right fielder. It's 32, Sierra Humphreys. Humphreys 0 for 1 with a walk as that pitch rolls in. Count moves to a ball and a strike on the Tecumseh, Oklahoma native. Pitch is up high, a ball. Two on the count, 2 out, bottom of the second inning. 5 runs already home for HBU here in the bottom of the second. Pitch is grounded foul past the first baseman, Williams. Cameron Parker stands on deck for HBU. 8 runs, 7 hits. Huskies wasted no time in getting the bats going. Big blow, a home run by Autumn Sidlik as that pitch is rolled in once again. And Fucci, senior, finding the strike zone hard to come by here in the bottom of the second. She's come in relief, third pitcher of the day. We're only in the bottom of the second. That pitch is grounded to first. First unassisted Williams to retire Humphreys, and that'll retire the side. But the Huskies put on a 5 spot, and we'll go to the top of the third. HBU 8, Prairie View A&M nothing. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. We move to the top of the third inning here. Husky Field in Houston, Texas. Game 2 of doubleheader between the Huskies of HBU and the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Sarah Vanker, third inning of work. She'll stand in and work to the leadoff hitter, Riley Love, for Prairie View. Pitch is hit back foul. Riley Love, base hit to start the game. Got a knock. Little early inning trouble for Sarah Vinker. She was able to work her way out of it. Catches the outside corner. Love. League City, Texas native leadoff hitter. Junior out of League City. UT Arlington transfer. Facing Sarah Vinker, the starter for HBU here in the top of the third. So as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, no midweek game on the schedule. So this is it for the non-conference schedule. 7-1 mark, if they can hold on to this 8-0 lead, would bring some momentum into the conference schedule as that ball is hit to the shortstop. Nice vertical right there by the Husky shortstop Shelby Eccles as she timed that one perfectly, brings it down and retires the leadoff hitter Love. One out here in the top of the third. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brandy Juarez. Oh for 1 on the day for Juarez. Did not play in the first game. Rosenberg, Texas native, B.F. Terry High School for the right-handed hitting. Brandy Juarez, she's at second base for game 2. First pitch is outside for a ball. Vinker just at this point just trying to bear down and throw strikes. Pitch is up high. Last thing you want to do with an 8-0 lead is give up base runners via the base on ball. So I'm sure the instructions are very clear from that HBU dugout for Vinker to pound that strike zone with this 8-0 lead. And just like that, outside for ball 3. One out here. Top of the third. Husky Field, Houston, Texas non-conference action. Game 2. Doubleheader, Huskies taking the first game 12-1 behind two Caitlyn Brockway home runs, and that pitch is up high a ball. Vanker walks Juarez, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Alyssa Garcia. Garcia, right-handed hitter, Houston, Texas native, Sidlik, over there in that tough Cypress area. She takes down the middle for a strike. So Juarez, the runner at first, she's aboard via the base on balls. One out here, top of the third inning. Sarah Vinker, HBU starter, facing the three-hole hitter, third baseman Alyssa Garcia as the throw comes back. First, Brockway with a tag. Juarez back in standing. Back in safely. Great day for sports, and like I said after the first game, a great day to watch some of that college classic at Minute Maid Park going on. Always a great event benefiting the Shriners. Might be a great day for that roof to be open at Minute Maid Park and watch some good college baseball action out there. And get home and watch some of that tonight. This pitch is fouled back. Southland Conference basketball going on. Final seeds being set for the men's and women's conference tournament beginning this week in Katy, Texas at the Leonard Merrill Center. Battle on the men's side for the number one seed tonight in Huntsville is the battle of the Piney Woods hardwood version. Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin will battle for that number one spot in the men's bracket. Garcia swings and misses. She's down on strikes, and there's two down here in the third. As we said earlier, HBU's women just punched their ticket this afternoon to Katy. They'll be part of the action at the Merrill Center coming up this week. Kimberly Hernandez, catcher, steps in. Prairie View A&M. Kimberly, a senior, Pearland, Texas, Pearland High School. Right-handed hitting catcher. Facing Sarah Vinker. Pitches in there, a strike. Even the count at a ball and a strike. Two outs. Top of the third, 8-0. HBU leads it here at Husky Field in Houston. Bats coming alive here in game two. Big blow, a Sidlik home run. Pitches in there. Runs the count to a ball and two strikes, two out. Vinker looking to in this inning right now facing the Prairie View A&M catcher, Kimberly Hernandez, as she'll call time. So as we said earlier, no midweek action, so this is it prior to conference for this HBU Husky softball team. Pitch is fisted up in the infield as the shortstop, Eccles, will call for it. She'll have it, and that'll retire the side. So no runs across for Prairie View A&M in the top of the third. Will go to the bottom of the third. Your score, HBU 8, Prairie View A&M nothing. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back on the Huskies Sports Network, Rodney Sidlik, Game 2. Doubleheader today between the Huskies and the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Huskies getting the best of it right now, 8-0 as Cameron Parker steps in. Number 9 hitter, right fielder. Watches strike one go by. Parker, 111 on the season coming in. Got 1 hit, 9 at-bats coming in. Parker, Liberty, Texas native, and she'll ground that past the second baseman Juarez for a base knock. And number 9 hitter is aboard, and that'll turn the lineup over for the top, and we'll go back to Shelby Eccles. Eccles 0 for 1, walk and a strikeout today. Left-handed hitter. St. Agnes Academy, Pearland, Texas native. Shortstop for HBU. Came into today 400 on the season. Nice average for your leadoff hitter. .526 on base. She'll ground that one. That one gets through. Again, through Juarez at second base. And the Huskies have the first 2 aboard. Yeah, we might be having a pinch hitter now as Jackie Jessup looks like she'll be hitting for Jaquez here. So Jaquez, and she's hitting in Jaquez's spot, the number 2 spot in the batting order. Jessup, a true freshman from Sugar Land, Texas, Fort Bend Christian Academy. Getting a chance to swing the bat with the Huskies up 8-0, 2 runners on, nobody out. Sidlik stands on deck. She put one right over the Kalachi factory sign in left field her last time at bat. Jessup will ground it, and umpire calls foul. So Jackie Jessup, pitch hitting for HBU with the Huskies up 8-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Game 2 of a twin bill here from Husky Field in Houston, Texas on an absolutely gorgeous day. A few white clouds starting to move in, but no complaints to the weatherman today as Jessup waves at a pitch way outside. The freshman was fooled on that one, and she's gone, 2 down, and that'll bring up the 3-hitter Autumn Sidlik. Sidlik homered her last time at bat. Couple RBIs, 2 ABs, a home run, 2 RBIs for Sidlik. Had a knock and was hit by a couple pitches first game. And she smokes that past the third baseman. That's going to be a fair ball. That's going to score 1 run. That's going to score 2 runs. And Sidlik checks in with a double. Now she will try to get to third, and she will be there, as that was a frozen rope down the third base line by Sidlik. Got down in the corner. We can't really see the corner from our vantage point here, but just past the third baseman, and the umpire called a fair ball. Coach Wilhite was wheeling everybody in. A couple more stakes for Sidlik here in game 2, and that'll push the Husky lead to 10-0 and bring up Caitlyn Brockway. Pitch is fisted into the outfield. Shortstop has it. That's Smith, as Brockway is retired. Hadn't seen that too often here this afternoon. So Sidlik will stand at third for J.C. Roberts. Roberts 0 for 2 here in the second game. Looking for a chance with 2 outs to get her an RBI, with Sidlik standing at third. Kind of floated that one up there. And it's a serious off-speed pitch that time. by Fucci. Works down in the zone. Roberts. Roberts, redshirt freshman, Deer Park, Texas native. Got some valuable playing time and was able to repeat her freshman season. Deer Park, Texas, part of that Deer Park program so good over the years. She'll hammer this one to center, but Love will be there to catch it and retire the side. But a couple more runs off the bat of Autumn Sidlik, her double driving in two. We'll go to the top of the fourth from Husky Field in Houston. Your score, HBU 10, Prairie View nothing. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, top of the fourth inning. We go. Defensive changes for HBU. We'll get to them in just a moment. New pitcher, Katie Janes, Huffman Hargrave, freshman, true freshman. She'll take the circle in relief of the starter, Sarah Vinker, with a 10-0 lead now. Jane's going to get some work in as a freshman. That pitch will be fouled off to the right-hand side. Jaden Mason, left fielder, into the box for Prairie View A&M 0 for 1 on the day. HBU just looking to close this game out in 5. They can do that if they hold on to this lead. Mason, Lee, and Williams here. Pitch just missed by Janes. Janes looks inside to Brockway. Pitch is fouled back. Sidlik under it, fighting that tough guy. She has it in foul territory. Retires Mason. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Kayla Lee. Lee takes down a strike. Lee, Galveston, Texas native, Ball High School. Right-handed hitter facing the freshman pitcher for HBU, Janes. $10-0 your score. HBU leading it here. Looking to close this thing out and get ready for conference play this Friday against Abilene Christian, as the Wildcats will be coming to town for 3 to face your HBU Huskies. Pitch down low, ball, or strike 3 call, delayed call by the home plate umpire. James gets a call, and there's 2 down here in the 4th. Jaya Williams, first baseman, number 31, right-handed hitter, stands in for Prairie View A&M. Junior out of Tacoola, Georgia. Takes on the outside corner for a strike. Williams 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. 10 runs, 10 hits for HBU, no runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Prairie View A&M. Long afternoon for these Panthers players as they just have not got anything going. We're beaten soundly 12-1 first game, 10-0 here second game. Just haven't been able to get the Prairie View bats just haven't been able to get anything going against these HBU pitchers today. Pitch is fouled off. Moves the count to 1-2. So Katie Janes, freshman pitcher from Huffman, Texas, taking over in relief for Sarah Vinker, who was 3 strong. Limited the Panthers to only 3 hits in 3 innings. Pitches up high. Count moves to 2-2. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here, top of the 4th. We'll close this one out. The Panthers will have to protect that 10-run lead in the 5th if they want to end this thing in 5. Defensively, as the ball is hit to center field, Bullen back, and she will tuck it away, and that will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Prairie View A&M. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning from Husky Field. In Houston, your score, HBU 10, Prairie View A&M nothing. You're watching HBU Softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network. Huskies looking to close this one out. Bottom of the 4th, leading 10-0 over Prairie View. Lindy Swanson, the designated player, will step in. Go look at some softball. Let's get some softball around the Southland Conference. Quite a slate of games here. Maybe if I refresh this thing, maybe some of these scores will update. Pitch is popped up to center fielder back, looking up at the wall, and that ball is gone. Lindy Swanson with a fly ball right over the 218 sign, the Husky softball sign. She'll touch them all, and Swanson has added to the home run parade today for HBU. How about that? That smile on that young lady's face says everything. Sarah Vinker pitched the first game. Now, how many people get to pitch one game and come back to the second game and hit a bomb? Now, that's a day's work for a player. 11-0 now as the Huskies continue to play add-on here. Riley Bullen steps in. She hit a home run her last time at bat. Action around the Southland today in softball. Campbell over Lamar 9-1 in College Station. Conway tournament, Central Arkansas 8-0. Mississippi Valley State. Pitch is fisted out to the pitcher. She's going to handle the job herself, and she has it. Fucci, that's one down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Pitches outside to Riley Martin, who's into the game now, freshman, outfielder, Pearland, Texas, Pearland High School. Abilene Christian fell to Kansas City in Lubbock, 6-3. UIW downed by Montana, 5-4 in El Paso. Pitches down low as count goes to 2-0. Other finals, Kansas got Northwestern State 5-0 in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Texas Tech, we said a 1-0 winner over Abilene Christian as the ball is hit over to second. Juarez to Williams, and that'll retire Martin. And that'll bring up Cameron Parker. So we're getting to be that time of the game with wholesale substitutions by Coach Mary Ellen Hall, with the Huskies leading at 11-0. Conference action starting this Friday. Abilene Christian will be here at Husky Field. That pitch is grounded. The dirt. Parker looks at it. It's 1-0. First pitch set for this Friday, 5 p.m. first pitch, followed by a 7 p.m. second pitch. Doubleheader action to start Southland Conference play coming up this Friday as the Huskies play host to the Wildcats of Abilene Christian. That'll be followed by the finale of the series coming up straight up 12 noon the following Saturday. Those games can be seen right here on the Husky Sports Network. With all things being equal and everything working out as we hope, I should be back sitting in this seat Friday to give you all the action of Husky softball as the Huskies kick off the Southland Conference season. And looking forward to that. Looking forward to this lineup as well as they have hit this year. As that ball is grounded to first, Williams will handle that unassisted, and that'll retire the side. So one run coming up on the Lindy Swanson home run. Only damage for HBU. They scratch that one, and we'll go to the top of the fifth, probably the last gas opportunity for Prairie View to extend this game. The Huskies leading it over Prairie View 11-0. You're watching HBU softball on the Husky Sports Network. Back here on the Husky Sports Network, Rodney Sidlik, Husky Field, Houston, Texas. Game 2 of a non-conference doubleheader between the Huskies, HBU, and the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Natalie McLennan leading things off in the fifth. Takes a strike. McLennan looks down. Looking to get something started here in the fifth. Prairie needs to scratch this inning or this game's over as the pitch is fouled back. Believe will bring the count to 1-1. 1-1. That's what the scoreboard says. I trust the scoreboard. Always trust the scoreboard. Guy running the scoreboard looks at me like I'm crazy. Like, it's okay, man. 1-1. I didn't see the call from the umpire, so he's the only one that counts anyway. 11 runs, 11 hits, HBU. No runs, 3 hits. Natalie Duran will have a chat. Visit with her freshman pitcher, Katie James. Know what this conversation could be about. Maybe dinner plans after the game. A little pitching instruction. Maybe something Natalie saw, out of the dugout that her young pitcher was doing. Figured better to correct it now in 11-0 game. That freshman might find herself in a tougher situation down the line. So ready to play ball. And corrected the count now. It's 0-2. Boom. Right there at the knees and called strike 3 with the delayed call from the umpire. Batter knew it. She headed back to the dugout immediately. So that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Destiny Smith. Smith, a Seabrook, Texas native. Cy Falls High School. She takes a ball. Destiny Smith. 1 down here, top of the 5th, which could be the last inning for Prairie View. They don't score. Outside corner, James gets the strike call. I'll move the count to 1-1 strike. So as we mentioned, Southland Conference action will get started this coming Friday here at Husky Field. Coach Mary Ellen Hall is looking forward to that as the pitch is inside. Actually, myself looking forward to seeing what these Husky hitters can do. They have had a good go of it here in the early portion of the non-conference season. They have hit the ball well. They've got some pretty good pitching, dropping the 1-run game to Southern Miss, the only blemish on that HBU record. That pitch is in there for a strike, and young James is attacking the strike zone, as I'm sure she was instructed to do by her coaching staff. And it had something to do with that visit from Natalie Duran here in this inning. You're 11-0 lead. Just serve it up, pound the zone, do what you can, hit out to left field. That's going to be an easy play for Parker. Parker has it, and there's 2 down. And it looks like Prairie View is down to their last out is 23. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Prairie View A&M. That'll be Jaslyn Perry, outfielder from Douglasville, Georgia. Will step in to pinch hit for the leadoff hitter, Riley Love. So Perry to step in here. Right-handed hitting freshman will foul this pitch off, and Jane just looking to finish the job here for HBU and send the HBU faithful off in a good mood on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Houston, Texas. Like I said, we apologize for our technical issues here. First game out of the box. Got everything worked out, and we're just doing the feed today. We'll have the production stuff out here next time. Hit the left. Parker back at the wall. She won't get there. It is off the wall. Parker will get it back in, and that will be a 2-out double for Jaslyn Perry, and she keeps hope alive for the Prairie View A&M Panthers. She took a page out of the HBU hitting book and got that one up into the atmosphere a little bit. That wind still carrying. Parker had to play that thing off the wall, and now Perry stands at second base with a 2-out double. And once again, Coach Vernon Bland will pinch hit. 33 steps into the box. That's Tony Espinosa, a sophomore infielder from San Antonio Sandra Day O'Connor High School. Left-handed hitting stick will stand in looking at an RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Panthers trailing it 11-0. Need to pick up 3 in this inning to extend the game. Pitches outside a ball to Espinosa. So Katie James looking to finish this one off for HBU. Pitches down, catches the outside corner for a strike, moves the count to a ball and a strike. 2 outs, runner at second base for Prairie View. Looking to scratch only their second run of the afternoon as they were beaten soundly 12-1 in the first game, trailing 11-0 here in the second game. James deals, pitches inside, hit over shortstop. That ball is caught. What a play by Cameron Parker in left field, and that will end it for HBU. What a catch. Thought that one had a chance to drop in. It didn't. Parker sprinting in from left field. She's able to glove it on her shoe tops, and that's the final out of the ball game. So wrapping it up here today, 11-0 after the 12-1 win in game 1. The HBU Huskies take both games of this non-conference doubleheader. This will be the final non-conference action for HBU, and they'll return to Husky Field this coming Friday as they will play host to the Abilene Christian Wildcats. Doubleheader action, first pitch, game 1, 5 o'clock, followed by the second game. The third game of the series will be Saturday at noon. Husky starting Southland Conference play here coming up this week. I'd like to thank everyone who made today's broadcast possible. We didn't have our full production crew out here. They were busy doing basketball, so we did the best we could, getting you at least a shot of the field here today. But beside me, Ashton Ritchie providing stats and updating the StatCast all afternoon long. Fabulous job. Erica Reyes keeping the press box sanity going, taking care of all the business up here, doing a great job today. And for Clay Porter for setting up our video system today for today's broadcast. For all of them, I thank all of you for watching today. Once again, your final score, Game 2 of the doubleheader, HBU Huskies 11, Prairie View A&M Panthers nothing. Until next time, hopefully this coming Friday, we'll see you later.